Rumors around Atlanta say that Todd and Kandi had their biggest fight ever. What was that fight about? Who started that fight? And even though we've seen Todd and Kandi together recently, have they really made up? Well, I have all that information and more right after this. What's up, kinfolk, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, do me a favor and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed to the channel, do me a favor and get notified so you'll know whenever I upload new videos to the channel. All right, kinfolk, come on into the house. We have a lot to talk about, and today it centers around an alleged big fight that Todd and Kandi had a couple of weeks ago in Atlanta. So, what was that big fight about? Who started the fight? And even though we've seen Todd and Kandi in Atlanta together recently, have the two actually made up? Well, I have all that information and more that will shed light on this incident. Rumors are alleging that Kandi and Todd recently had their biggest fight ever, and it's not about what some may think. The alleged verbal blowup happened 3 weeks ago in Atlanta after hours at one of their restaurants. Todd was seen allegedly frustrated while Kandi's tone and attitude sounded and looked dismissive. The alleged verbal argument resulted in a loud yelling match that was unsuccessfully hushed by one of Kandi's close employees/friends. Todd allegedly ended up driving off in a fury, leaving Kandi hot. Sources say that this is not the first verbal altercation the two have had, but it definitely was the biggest they have ever seen from the two. So, I know you kinfolks are thinking, what were they fighting about? And since it's not what some of you all may think it was about, then what was it? I know, right? You guys want to know, don't it? I know. I can feel y'all looking at me through the camera like, come on, what happened? What happened? Well, allegedly, Todd was upset about the recent bad press their restaurants had been receiving. Todd allegedly felt that Kandi dropped the ball on her end in handling certain important financial matters. Kandi allegedly was dismissive of Todd's complaints and brushed him off as being overly dramatic, which angered Todd even more. Allegedly, Todd feels that Kandi should take on a more in-depth role with the restaurant or just pass the responsibility on to someone else. His frustration comes in because Kandi is not willing to do so, even though her plate is full with a lot of high-profile commitments. Other investors and managers allegedly would prefer Kandi to take on a more of a PR brand ambassador role instead of an operational role. Sources say even though Todd was absent from several recent important events in support of Kandi, the tension between the two has cooled down, and Kandi is said to be open to some of Todd's suggestions. The nature of this argument may be shown on Kandi's spinoff. See, it's not what you guys were thinking. It's actually some business matters, which if these rumors are true, I can see how they could have an argument. You know, they're a married couple, they're business partners. It was a very rough time in the press for their many restaurants and establishments. So I could see how tempers could flare up. And so, if the rumor is true, it's quite natural for them to have this type of interaction every once in a while. I think you guys would agree. But one thing about Kandi, I call her Kandi Keep a Check. She keeps a check coming in, and I think she should take more of a PR brand ambassador role because, running a restaurant is a full-time job in itself. Let alone adding filming a reality show 6 months out the year, now being a Broadway producer, and then going on the road with Escape every now and then. you know, Kandi is a very, very busy woman, and I just don't see how she could, how she even want to add anything else to her plate. You know, I think Todd and Kandi are very savvy business leaders and business people, I would say. And I think that eventually they will come to a decision that's best works for the best of them, for their family, and for their many businesses, especially the restaurants. I've been to several of Kandi's restaurants, and they're good. I mean, they are really good. But as you know, these things happen. I don't think we should read that much into it. I definitely think if any of the rumors that we heard about Kandi and Todd arguing, I think that this one may be the one that gets on air with her spinoff because it makes sense. It's a little bit more in tune to the nature of the program. But we'll see. But Kim, folks, what I want to know from you guys, do you think Kandi should just slow down and focus on the restaurant and make sure the restaurant is doing good? Or do you think Kandi should really just delegate her responsibilities to the restaurant to another business associate and then just take on more of a PR/ambassador role? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Alright, Kim folk, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment below, subscribe, and I'll see you guys over on the next one. Peace.